Hi, my name is Mike Sigety, and I'm getting ready for the 2011 Erzberg Enduro in Austria. And today we're going to discuss some of the different models of rear brakes that I tried and what's going on in my handlebars. I was fortunate enough to be able to try the three premier models on the market: the Rekluse model, the GP Tech model, which is called the thumb brake, and the Cadillac models, the Clake model. So let's just get right into it, and we'll talk about the Rekluse model. This is the Rekluse model, and I modified it from the way they intended it. Let me tell you what I did, and then maybe we'll get into what way it was intended. What I did is I took two bark buster mounts, a piece of handlebar here, and a cert and a nut, and made my own little handlebar up here. And what we did is we chamfered the edge of the handlebar mount here, right where I'm pointing, that so when you turn the handlebars, it changes the angle a little bit of the lever so I can get the angle that I wanted right over here. And then eventually I'm going to weld this so it's even a better fit. And this can be mounted above or below. And I originally mounted it below, but I liked it better above because I saw the way my friend in Hungary did it. Below was a problem because when you're going down a steep hill, your hands are like this. Now you want to get all the way down over here, so this is definitely a better mounting situation up here than down here. Another thing that I really like about this lever, it's a nice long lever, and it has a lot of power to it, which is something that was missing in some of the other systems we'll discuss. This is actually a Magura master cylinder made to take brake fluid, and a line runs down from here all the way down to your pedal master cylinder, which is nice because I still retain the pedal. And if something happens to the Magura up top, I always have the pedal, meaning if I break it, break a line, I still have fluid down here and I still have a pedal, so I'll still have a brake. So I really like that system a lot because some of the other systems go right to the caliper, and if you lose the line somewhere up here, you break this system, you're going to lose all your brakes. So back to this system up here. So this one I like. The power was good, the feel was good. And my intention for this system was just to have a extra left-hand rear brake in panic and extreme situations. But that's not really what this system's intended for. The way they sell it at Rekluse is to take your clutch lever off, turn a adapter into your small adapter, like a hot start almost, that goes up here into your clutch lever, and then your brake lever is the main lever. And the reason I didn't want to do that is because I wanted full control of my clutch lever, full master cylinder up here. If your main concern is just a left-hand rear brake and you don't pull the clutch in a lot, or you only want to clutch on occasional situation, then the way they sell it, this would be a premier system to go with. Directions were good, all the hardware mounted up real easy, just the way they said, and this is going to be the system that I am going to use. But while we're here, before we shift to some of the other bikes, I'll just quickly show you some of the things I have on my handlebars. I have a Boysen Flex Grip, which turns a little bit, and I like that a lot because it eliminates forearm pump and blisters, and it comes with some different durometers in there that you can change for softer or harder. I actually modify the softer ones to be even softer. I like that a lot. I also have a steering dampener. I switch off between a Scots and a Fastway. Since I have more than one bike, I don't have enough Fastways to go at every bike or enough Scots to go at every bike. I have the Fastway sliding mount. I could slide this mount up and down to fit any handlebar position. And here I mount either my my ICO computer or my TrailTech GPS odometer, depending on what I'm doing. So that works out real well too. And I also have a fan here, which we discussed in some other videos for extreme riding. And the last thing I want to discuss is my TGT handlebars with the suspension built into the bars, meaning the air comes out of the your bleeders come out, go into the handlebars, and it uses the handlebars as sub-tanks. And that works out real well. Everyone who's ever tried my bike loves my suspension. I've actually let some of my friends try my bars, and they've loved them on their own bike. And here you can adjust how much air they let in and out. And you can actually shut it off completely and feel the difference while you're riding. And there's definitely a difference. And one other thing I do to my bars is I wrap my levers in lever skins. So I actually I wire tie them and I grip glue them, and it keeps the lever, it gives me better feel, and in the winter too it makes the lever not as cold. So I've been real happy with those Pro Grip lever skins. So anyway, that's my handlebars on the KTM and the Magura LHRB by Rekluse. let's take a look over here at the thumb brake by GP Tech. This is a real interesting unit because it bolts right on without any modification. You don't have to make any sort of mounts, still retains your original clutch system the way you have it. And if you get real good at it, you can actually start using the clutch and the brake at the same time, the rear brake. Now this is just mounted for video purposes. It's not actually hooked up to anything. You do have to mount a remote reservoir, and you have to try to keep it a little higher than this, which is tough, but you can do it. I put another little clamp right in here and mounted it. This system mounts nicely, but it's really made for street bikes, so it was missing a few components that we needed. Plus it was a last minute thing. He didn't have one in stock. He had to steal it from someone else to let me try it. The owner of the company is real nice. He's very responsive to phone calls if you have any questions. It's a little fragile for dirt bike use. I did put a rubber band on here in case the lever pulled too far out, so it didn't break this tab off that you can see. I almost was going to use this lever. This whole system, I should say. This was the one that I wanted. That's what I was going to go with until the very last maybe 20 minutes of the ride. And I noticed when it started to rain, it definitely didn't have enough power to give me a rear brake, where the Rekluse model over here did. And it was marginal, like just about enough brake, not quite, but just enough when it was dry. When it was wet, it faded on me too much, and then I said between that and the vulnerability of an extreme race, I decided against it. But I did like the unit, and if you look again over here, you can see what he did. He kind of mounted, if you look underneath, maybe you can see, he kind of mounted, let's say, a rear master cylinder, and he did a real good job. I'm very impressed with that. Mine didn't come with a lot of instructions, but again, mine was like a last minute deal. And the other thing on this bar that's a little unique, if you look over here, I have a Midwest Mountain Engineering lever. And one thing I like about these levers is it severely reduces the amount of pull required to pull in your lever. And at the same time, I still got good clutch feel. It's 2 fingers. So this has been real good for me. I'm very happy with that too. And let's take a look at the Cadillac of LHRB's, the Clake model. And take a look at the Clake model. You got 2 master cylinders up here. Both happen to be, in this case, accepting brake fluid, but you can order one that does hydraulic, one that does brake, depending on how old your KTM is. This unit is a piece of work, a piece of art. I mean, if you look at it, you can see you've spent a lot of time making this fit up here. And this lever does everything that you need. One thing that I didn't like about this is that when you pull it in, it is actually the brake, and when you want the clutch, you have to snap this in and then pull it. So it's really more designed for a brake and less for a clutch. I mean, if I would have designed it for my purpose, where I really wanted more clutch and less brake, I need 90% of this area here to be clutch, 10% brake. I would have done it where you pull it in, you get the clutch, you move it over, pull it in, you get the brake. He's done it the opposite. So if you're looking for predominantly brake up here, this is probably a good unit in that respect. I did have some problems with this unit. Besides that, the mounting of it was a problem. The directions are about 45 steps with no pictures, and I'm real simple. I like pictures. We had a few problems. I had a few of my friends look at it. I have one friend who's a really good mechanic. Been working at a shop for 7+ years. He had issues with the directions. We actually called the guy around 8 o'clock in the morning on his cell phone, 8 o'clock his time. And he was responsive, he answered, he apologized, he emailed us the rest of the directions. Some of the directions had steps that were already done that weren't noted in there. We had problems with that, and I don't mean to be bitching about it, but I'm under the gun here. I leave in like 4 days, so my testing time was very, very limited and cut even shorter with this. Matter of fact, I only got to test it up and down the driveway, and once I saw how awkward it was, I just couldn't get used to that. So I'd say we probably got about 18 hours, and that's not like 6 hours of my friend and 6 hours of me together makes 12. I mean 18 hours total trying to get this to work on the bike. Another problem we had with it was one of the brake lines was broken, which we didn't notice, and it broke at the banjo fitting, where not the fitting itself, but where the hose goes into the fitting. And we tried to get in touch with the guy again, and we had a real hard time getting in touch with him the second time. When he emailed me back, he happened to know what line was bad before we told him, so I guess it's a problem he knows and hopefully working on. But this unit again is nice for what it does, but it's too oriented for me towards the brake and not enough towards the clutch. I couldn't get used to pulling this in and snapping it every time I needed to modulate the clutch in a tight section. So I'm decided against that. And I was lucky enough to have my friend Jim Aiello, or as we call him Elvis, lend it to me. Otherwise I wasn't even going to bother. And once he did lend it to me, I thought for sure I was going to go with it. But by the way, if you look right over here, it leaked right here in the rear, and right where this meets over there. So that you might want to keep an eye on that, maybe before you get too deep into it. Another issue with this system that I didn't like is that this goes from here all the way down to the to the caliper. So if you should break this off somehow, you're going to lose all your fluid, where the other systems go to the master cylinder. Then what happens is the fluid from the master cylinder, line from the master cylinder, goes up to the brake. So when you step on the brake pedal, it actuates something in here which takes this line and goes back to the caliper. I know that's really confusing, so you might want to rewind that and see that again. So that was an area of vulnerability. If I broke this and I lost this fluid here or anything here, I was going to lose all my rear brakes. So that was another problem for me, between trying to get used to clicking in and pulling just for the clutch, having vulnerability if I broke something and losing my rear brakes. Decided against that system. So that's the LHRBs discussed, and if you want to see some more videos, please go to Mike Sigety, SIGETY.com, or go to Thumper Talk and go to the forums, go to the dirt bike forums, special interest, pro racing, and you can go, or just type in Erzberg and you can see some more setup videos. Thank you very much.